What is up, guys? Sin here. So today I want to do something a little bit different. Last night I asked a very simple question on Twitter. What was the most memorable moment of Destiny 2 for you? Now, this tweet got a lot of traction, and I mean overnight, like 500 likes as of almost 24 hours later, bunch of retweets. But what really threw me off was the amount of comments and what the most memorable moments of Destiny 2 were for a lot of the people that follow me. About 248 people responded to this single question. And so today I just kind of want to talk about what the responses were, the overwhelming responses, and what I found really odd about what people weren't saying. So without further ado, here we are. Enjoy the video. If you like this kind of content, please, by all means, subscribe, hit the bell so you get a notification for whenever I post a new video. And yeah, hopefully this can kind of give some insight into like where a good chunk of the community that at least lives on Twitter is thinking and how the game makes them feel. All right, let's get into it. First comment was from Phil Bailey over on Twitter, and he says, doing Wrath of the Machine underlevel day one and getting to the end, didn't beat it until the next night, but that raid just hit differently for our group. It's good to see some positivity around the game. Well, one thing that I have to say to that is I remember going after Wrath of the Machine the first week it came out. And that, if anybody was around for the Rise of Iron era, you remember that even Wrath of the Machine week 1 was a very, very difficult raid. So I can imagine that Phil here had probably a preset group of people, so non-LFG, that went into this experiencing it with friends for the first time. So a lot of people were underleveled day one for Wrath of the Machine, except for those that had been grinding a little bit harder. And I remember how difficult it was. It actually took me personally about like 5 or 6 swap outs and trips to the LFG website to complete the raid at least once. Now, I just remember how difficult this was. And for people to feel that sense of accomplishment in beating that day one like that, that's amazing. And I know that if I was in Phil's shoes at this time, I probably would have been like, that was memorable. That was memorable because we went in with the odds stacked against us to then overcome a challenge that not everybody can say they overcame. So that's really cool to see, and it's kind of building towards my greater point in this video. So without further ado, let's get to the next one. Berger 18 says, I had a friend ask me to raid with him and I didn't know anyone else. Once we beat it, there were a few other people in the fire team who went to the tower. I was messing around with emotes, and this guy and I from another raid team had the same dance emote, so we became friends. See, that's awesome, and once again, building to the greater point and my overall response that I received from the tweet, meeting people through endgame activities and making friends with those people, at least for me, has been a highlight of, not just content creation, but playing Destiny in itself. It's one of those things where I hear all the time of people saying, like, I can't raid. Like, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't raid. I can't, overcome these challenges in the game. And part of that isn't just the game itself. It's in my opinion, the fear of failing and disappointing the people you're raiding with. Now, this was something that I personally had to overcome, and it's something that I highly encourage others to try to overcome. And it does take confidence to do that. You can't just wake up one day and say, oh, well, all of my social anxiety's gone. I have to, I'm good now. You can't, it just doesn't happen like that. So, this guy, he had a friend, thankfully, that kind of helped give him that push. And I think those kinds of friends are valuable, those kinds of friends are valuable, and that they're a great thing to have in this community. Adam Edwards says, for me, it was the first time my team successfully ran Callus and Leviathan. It took us a while to get all synced up with the mechanics, and we nearly forgot to keep shooting him after he dies. Last stand mechanics. But it was so cool to see the room with all the other Callus bots in it. And just wait for it, guys, because I'm going somewhere with all of this. I'm going somewhere with all of this. Now, I actually hadn't completed Leviathan until year 2. And a lot of that had to do with just fatigue from the end of Destiny 1 into seeing what Destiny 2 was at vanilla and kind of stepping away for a little while. So I came back in Forsaken, we all know that, and started streaming in Forsaken. Now, I relate to this guy because, hell, everybody loves getting their first raid clear. Everybody loves getting their first raid clear, and it's very telling. And this is where I'm saying I'm going to get to my point. It's very telling what raid people actually got excited over completing for the first time. And this was something I wasn't expecting to see a lot of, but I got a lot of responses about it. GG's to this guy. Awesome. Mr. Koala on Twitter says that his best experience, or most memorable experience in Destiny 2, was the first time he raided Leviathan. That's important, because guess what? And that's the point of this entire conversation. It seems to me that the overwhelming response I received was that of those having their most memorable moments being all raid related. I saw some PvP related accomplishments in there, which is awesome. I saw some, just respectable achievements that the people believe are memorable. And this brings me to my greater point as to why we all play Destiny 2, and this might be a little bit controversial. I mean, people all the time talk to me about, I'm not good at this game. I don't have people to play with. I don't have this. I don't have that. And a lot of what you do in Destiny is what you make of it. You can go to LFG if you want. Nobody's forcing you to or not to. You can try to make friends. Twitter is a great place to try and make friends. Our clan Discord runs people through raids all the time. Over the past 2 weeks, we have made so many new friends that, when I log on every day and I see who's in voice chat, there are people that I don't even know just kind of chilling. And that, to me, tells me that Destiny isn't just this place where we go to shoot aliens. It's not. Maybe it never has been. Maybe Destiny 2 has just been a place to make friends this entire time. And it leads me to this point of when you take a bunch of your friends and you go overcome a challenge together, that only strengthens that friendship. And I believe this community, the Destiny community, could use a lot more of that. I don't see it often anymore where we have people tearing each other down. I don't see that anymore. There's good reason for that. Because I feel like we're starting to move in a direction where we can be this positive force, not just for the community, but for the gaming industry as a whole. And we have to do that. It is our duty, not even just content creators, but just people playing these games that are so heavily invested in being social games. We have that responsibility. And I got to be honest with you. It took me up until Shadowkeep to really begin to get social with Destiny. It takes time. It takes time. A lot of people I've come across have just been so nervous to join a fire team. So nervous to take that step forward to not just become a better player, but to just make friends in the community, you know? Never feel like you're alone in that mentality. I talked about this on Twitter today for those that follow me there. You know, I think it's very telling that a lot of these memorable experiences come from being in a group of people. And at the root of it, you have to understand one very important thing. It isn't about the activity. The memories, the what makes it memorable isn't always the activity. It's the people you bring along with you. That's what makes it memorable. That's what makes it have value. So, this isn't really a preach piece, but more or less an advice piece of, you know, if you are feeling challenged by something in Destiny, in life, in the game, in these unprecedented times, maybe, just maybe, try to make some friends. It changed my life. It changed my perspective. You know, and this message may not reach everybody in the right way. It may not reach some people that need to hear it. But I feel like it needed to be said. A lot of this game, as much as we take it seriously, as much as we fight back at certain things, we have to understand that it's about the experience we have with others. And all I can ask is that those that have been in the community for a long time, to take the steps to not only be more open and welcoming, but to help others have those experiences. So thanks for listening to this talk today. I plan on having some Sherpa videos, some Sherpa raid videos uploaded in the next couple weeks or so, as I start helping people kind of achieve their moments of triumph, 2020 uncapped raid emblems and stuff. Shit's fun, dude. It's just fun. It's fun. I like hanging out with new people. But just remember what I said. Whether you're a content creator or just a player of the game, you know, you could meet your best friend through LFG. You can meet your best friend in a Twitch chat room. You could meet your best friend just playing around in the tower, and you never know what'll happen. So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys all have a great day. Sin out. If you guys like this video, you guys can watch me live weekdays over on twitch.tv/sin_on_Twitch_. Love to have you there. Love to chat with you. Love to hang with you. Love to play with you guys. So be sure to go over there, hit that follow button, hit that bell for the notifications, and I'll see you guys out there in the solar system. Peace.